Hi, I'm Pam Melroy, commander of the STS-120 mission, and you're watching NASA TV.
We see the crew now making their way down the hallway.
Once again, this is what I was telling you about, and we might get a chance to see some of the folks in crew quarters before they get on the elevator. Once again, friends and people that have worked hard to get us to where we're going. Mike, that was kind of nice. I haven't seen a crew do that before, where they actually stood there by the Astro van and had a chance to really make eye contact and wave at the folks there. Those people came here early this morning with just hope of getting a glimpse of the crew as they walked out, so that was really nice. And this is a view from inside the vehicle up on the flight deck. As Pam is coming in, you'll see she'll grab hold of a kind of a handhold overhead and have to pull herself in position. It can be difficult to get into the shuttle in this configuration. It'd be like trying to get into your car if someone had stood it on the rear bumper overnight. Right now, oh, there's Paolo. He's got a message there in the White Room. This is a view back on the flight deck over on the pilot side as they're getting George in his seat and strapped in.
So we're getting a good view now, looking down towards where Stephanie will be, right down towards her seat.
That really is a good view. This is sitting on the flight deck, looking straight back. You can see as you look at the screen on the left, that would be George Zamka, the pilot. On the right, as you look at your screen, you'll see Pam's right shoulder, and then straight ahead is Stephanie as they get her strapped in.
T-minus 16 seconds. Sound suppression water system has been activated, protecting Discovery and the launch pad from acoustical energy. We have a go for main engine start. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, hoisting harmony to the heavens and opening new gateways for international science. Discovery has cleared the tower.
Houston now controlling.
Roll program. Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. Is now in a heads-down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station. Discovery 7 miles downrange at an altitude of 2 statute miles. Flying at 600 miles per hour. Discovery's engines are throttling down as the orbiter passes through the area of maximum pressure on the vehicle. Now 50 seconds into the flight. Discovery 8 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center at an altitude of 6 statute miles, flying at 900 miles per hour.
Discovery Houston, go at throttle up.
Copy, go at throttle up.
The 3 engines on board are throttling back up. At liftoff, the fully fueled shuttle boosters and external tank weighed 4.5 million pounds. The total thrust at launch was 6,425,000 pounds. Discovery now 13 miles downrange at an altitude of 13 statute miles, flying at 1,700 miles per hour. All systems continue to function well. 3 good main engines, 3 good power generating fuel cells, and 3 good auxiliary power units for the hydraulic system. Discovery now 24 miles downrange at an altitude 23 statute miles, flying at 2,700 miles per hour. 1 minute 58 seconds into the flight, standing by for burnout and separation of the solid rocket boosters. Booster officer here in Mission Control confirming the booster separation. Main engine cutoff confirmed, now 8 minutes and 35 seconds into flight. External tank separation is also confirmed. Nine minutes into the flight, Discovery and her crew now in orbit.
Discovery Houston, that was a nominal MECO. OMS 1 is not required. We'll meet you in the post-OMS 1 tab.
Copy. I danced in the morning when the world was begun, and I danced in the moon and the stars and the sun.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Pam. Welcome to your first full space day for the STS-120.
Thanks, Shannon. That was one of my favorite songs from the Christmas Revels. Thanks to my husband, Doug. I love you. Houston Discovery, we think SSV has been set up. You might want to take a look at that and let us know if you're seeing it.
Okay, thanks for asking. And we do see SSV, and we do have you on the flight deck. Great to see y'all.
Discovery Commander Pam Milroy also in view there, with astronauts Dan Tawney and Paulo Nespoli. Now floating into view, pilot George Zamka.
See y'all, and look like you're having way too much fun.
That would be the STS-120 crew. Yes, we're always having too much fun.
This camera in the aft portion of Discovery's payload bay, looking past the Harmony node towards the forward portion of the vehicle.
In this view, you can see the orbiter boom sensor system as it's being lowered into its berth position. The onboard crew now having completed the survey activities that are standard Flight Day 2 activity.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Dan. This is a big day for you. You're going to become a member of ISS and an official member of Expedition 16.
Thank you, Shannon. You scared me there for a little bit. I thought I might be a little late, but thanks very much. It's moving day for me, and I can't wait to settle into my new home.
Cameras on the outside of the International Space Station have now caught a glimpse of the Space Shuttle Discovery, now trailing the International Space Station by about 12 statute miles, continuing to close in.
Discovery Houston, we have polled the room, and you are go for TI.
Most excellent. Go for TI. Thank you.
And in this view from a camera on the International Space Station, the ignition of the left OMS orbital maneuvering system engine was visible.
Alpha Discovery, initiating RPM 3, 2, 1, mark.
Alpha copies on 2.
Discovery's commander, Pam Milroy, is maneuvering the vehicle through a 9-minute 360-degree backflip. That call from Discovery's pilot, George Zamka, on the start of the RPM, the rendezvous pitch maneuver.
Discovery, start photos.
Alpha, start photos. Alpha, copy.
Malenchiko and Anderson beginning the photography process to methodically map out the underside of the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Alpha Discovery, end photos.
Station residents Yuri Malenchiko and Clay Anderson had 90 seconds to photograph the underside of the Space Shuttle Discovery, that typically allowing about 300 digital pictures to be taken of the shuttle's heat shield for downlink to mission control for analysis.
Discovery on the big loop, you have a go for docking.
Copy, go for docking.
In Houston on 2, the 800 RPM photos are on computer SSC7 C drive. Photos for downlink, RIP'em 800 GMT date.
Discovery and Alpha, capture confirmed.
And ISS is in free drift.
Houston copies.
Special good morning to you today, Wheels. We wish you a great first EVA.
Thank you, and good morning, Shannon, and good morning to the control team in Houston. I'd like to say a special word of thanks and good morning to my wife, Kathy, and my daughter, Ashley. Thank you for that song.
Astronaut Doug Wheelock in his spacesuit inside the crew lock, standing by for the start of his first spacewalk.
Like kids on Christmas morning, getting up early. Get out early. 1,000 Christmases.
This is a view of the space station robotic arm in motion with astronaut Doug Wheelock on the end, holding on to the S-band antenna structural assembly en route to Discovery's cargo bay to stow that piece of hardware in place for return to Earth. This is a view from a camera on Wheelock's spacesuit. From his point of view, astronaut Scott Perzinski in view on the left, already at Discovery's cargo bay. And this is a view from his helmet camera.
Okay, I've arrived.
Very good. So the first step there is to install the large trash bag on 369.
Okay, pal, I'll just give you my checks real quick here. Temperatures are fine. No need for glove heaters. Visor is up. Lights remain on. My gloves, no delta from the prior inspection. Although it does seem to be a little bit of ice or something interesting.
And Scott, we were busy in the procedure. Did I hear that you're complete with all ADTF bolts?
That is affirmative.
Great job.
Yeah, thanks. Worked great. I'm just going to have to fairly my tether a little bit farther forward on the starboard ODS. It didn't hold on the TSA like I'd hoped. And then I'll be right at the work site.
Okay, Wheels and Paolo, we're giving you the go to egress the APFR.
Okay, copy, Dan.
And copy then.
Paolo, out of the APFR. And as I'm here, I don't know if you can get a wireless shot of the snares I wanted to get from Mad Dog. Looks like the snares are in good shape on the SSRMS.
Copy.
That's probably far enough, yeah. And I'm just going to do it on the handrail that we're tethering to, so that way I'll be right here. Okay. Tighten up the BRT too. Get BRT to in position. Okay, I've released. Okay. How do you like that BRT? I like it. Yeah, I knew you would. My best friend. Hey, wait a minute, I thought it was. Oh, wait, you are, Spike. Spike is my friend.
Alpha Discovery for SSRMS. You have a go for Node 2 unberthing. Copy. Go for Node 2 unberth. Thank you.
Hey, Will, look down. Look, ISS Nader. You'll see that they've got the node about 2 meters out. Oh, my goodness. Isn't that great?
Hey, what do you think? Robo and all the gang here has been working hard
Yes,
for
they
this
have.
node.
They just haven't been napping today, huh? Wow. Tempo. Good job on the node. It's awesome.
Yeah, I sat around and made lunch for everybody and watched him just totally do a fantastic job.
It was so cool. We saw it hanging out there, and then that was my translation path out to the end of P6, and I was on my way back. I was like, oh, there's a node here now. Ambo, bring in harmony.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Paulo. And we certainly hope that you've had a little bit of time to look out and see the beautiful stars since you've been up there in space.
And buongiorno Houston, buongiorno Shannon. Le stelle sono belle e da qui sono ancora molto più belle. Grazie a tutti, grazie a Sasha, grazie a tutti quelli che hanno lavorato con me in questi anni per rendere questo sogno possibile. Grazie.
And Houston Alpha on shuttle assets, I don't know which one this is. Do we have permission to ingress?
And Peggy, you have a go to ingress node 2.
This is Mission Control Houston. The hatch into the new Harmony Node 2 module opened at 7:24 a.m. Central Time.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here on this very beautiful piece of hardware. Of course, it was built in Europe, in Italy, by an agreement with the European Space Agency and the Italian Space Agency, and built by the Italian industry. I'd like to thank everybody that has worked hard in making this possible and allowing the space station to be built even further and preparing the place for the Columbus laboratory, the European laboratory, and the Japanese laboratory.
In Houston, we just wanted to welcome the Harmony module on board the International Space Station. It's not berthed in its final location, but we've opened the hatch to enter, and we wanted to acknowledge the fact that, and christen the Harmony module itself. We think the Harmony module Harmony is a very good name for this module because it represents the combination of a lot of international partner work and will allow additional international partner modules to be added on. Harmony came to be, the name Harmony came to be from a contest of many different schools around the country. Over 2,200 school children participated in this contest, and we wanted to acknowledge those schools. And I fogged over. So Sue Wilson's third grade class at Buchanan Elementary School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Bridget Berry's eighth grade class at League City Intermediate School in League City, Texas. Bradley News, ninth grade science class at Lubbock High School in Lubbock, Texas. And Russell Yoakum's third grade class at West Navarine Intermediate School in Navarine, Florida. David Dexheimer's school at the World Group Home in Montana, Wisconsin. And Peggy, I've just got one more thing. I received as a gift from some of the people who worked on the naming of Harmony this beautiful necklace with a Harmony charm on it. And it seemed appropriate to me that the commander of the International Space Station who welcomed Harmony should have this. Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Good morning, Discovery. A special good morning to you today, Scott. It's a great day for an EVA.
That's how you do it, Shannon. That's how you start the day in space. I can't think of a more beautiful way to begin the day than hear those words, and I think it really describes the view from space, especially as seen through an EMU visor. Really looking forward to getting out there today with my good friend Dan, and I'd like to thank my wife Gail and my kids Luke and Jenna. They really helped me see the wonder of the world.
You can see here astronauts Paulo Nespoli and Peggy Whitson have been assisting with the spacewalk preparations, putting Tani and Perezinski into their suits and putting them inside the crew lock section of Quest now.
Alpha Discovery for robotics.
Go ahead, Paulo.
That, you have a go to take the baby away.
Copy. Go to DMate P6, and we also copy the EV1 and EV2 are in position to monitor separation.
Verified wheels.
Verified. Go to our Flambeau.
I see good motion. Good motion.
Good motion. Good direction. Space remains clear.
Copy, good motion.
Okay, just at the slope of the pin now.
Looks symmetric to me.
I agree.
Clean separation plane.
Pins are free of the Z1 interface. We're just waiting to get the capture bar free of the CLA.
Agreed.
You're in the center of the envelope for the CLA.
Right down the middle.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, really.
This is Mission Control Houston with the view of the P6 truss structure. Towards the bottom middle of the screen would be the end of the truss that has the solar array wings that are retracted and in the blanket boxes. Those will be redeployed after the P6 is installed in its permanent location on the outboard port side of the station's truss structure. Tani outside inspecting around the Solar Alpha rotary joint as Mission Control monitors for any indications that might be the cause of friction detected during rotation of that joint.
Okay, let me tell you what I see. On the outer race, there are lots of very fine metal shavings, and I can see that because the motor that is what is that? That's a trunnion bearing. TBA 0134 has a lot of those metal iron shavings. It's like the toy that you get with the metal iron filings, and you put a magnet under it, and they stand straight up.
Yeah, so see that on the bracket there with the 3 rivets there is a big ding up there. Is that a ding?
No, those are metal shavings, and there must be some magnetism or something there because they create a circular form there.
So you take a sample of those, are those the same nature you think of the other one?
I think it's all the same, yes. I do think it's the same.
All right, copy.
This is a view from the helmet camera on astronaut Scott Parzynski's spacesuit as he continues to work on the outside of the new Harmony Node 2 module, continuing to install various accessories on the outside, including handrails to be used by spacewalkers.
You can see the horseshoe connectors. I can go aft and get them. This is here. So I think you want to forward and get them, I guess. You got to drive the bolts first, so.
All right, I think unless ground has any other request, we'll...
Wait for just 30 seconds. I'm looking at my hometown. Really? Yeah, let me see if I can find Lombard. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's an awesome view. Radio was fantastic. Nice clear day down there. It's nice fall weather. And I see O'Hare Airport, so I can make out my hometown Lombard. Too bad about those cubbies, though. Yeah, well, there's always next century. I'm on my way in, Dan.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you today, Stephanie.
Good morning, Shannon. Space is certainly a special place to be, and I'd like to thank my parents, Barbara and Jean, for that song.
Commanding is underway to deploy radiator number 1 on the station's starboard truss. The radiator panel you see deployed in this view is radiator number 2, and that has been deployed for some time now. And movement visible now. The S1 number 1 radiator is being deployed.
I got a little Saturday science project for you on Monday today. We'd like to know if the shavings that you collected, or Dan collected, on the tape are ferrous metal. So we suggest that you use the TIVUS emergency stop magnet to check and then report the results back to us.
It's very definitively ferrous.
Don Pettit, eat your heart out, huh?
I wouldn't even pretend to come close to Don Pettit.
Okay, I feel like this is an episode right out of the Mythbusters here. It's definitely ferrous.
For Commander Melroy, you've been told this mission will likely be extended. What's involved on your part to make this happen?
Well, fortunately, we had actually talked about this possibility before we flew. Things have gone pretty smoothly so far, but the reality is there are so many different elements to the mission that for each one of those elements, we talked about what would happen if something didn't go smoothly, and we kept coming back to the option of adding a day, and so I think in the end, it doesn't really surprise us. And we've thought through some of the implications of it already. I think the biggest thing for us is it's another day in space, docked to the space station, and that's great.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to you this morning, George.
Good morning.
morning, Shannon. Thank you from Discovery for that song. That was Malagueña Salarosa. That's a rousing version of an old mariachi song that my mother liked when she was growing up in Bogota, Colombia. And that was for you, Mom.
With initial configurations complete inside the crew lock, astronaut Doug Wheelock now making his way out the hatch, and will be followed by astronaut Scott Parzynski.
And just looking across at the P6 side, everything looks free and clear on all four corners, including the lanyards that were on the male QD caps there. That looks good. 3, 2, 1, first contact.
Off the hand controller.
Nice job. Good job, guys. And move it down to the CLA.
Good job to you guys.
What a tremendous view. End of the road out here, Wheels. Yep. Cap installed on J36 at Zenith.
Copy, Wheels. For status swap and probably don't need it, right?
I do. Well, it depends on what else we're doing here today, but I do need to...
As the spacewalk activities continue, the ground control team here also preparing to move forward with the deployment of the solar array wings on the newly installed P6 truss segment.
Solar array deploys starting on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
EV1 and 2, it looks like they're getting the array all the way out on one side.
Wow, that's great. Awesome.
This is Mission Control Houston with a close-up look at the 4B solar array wing.
My mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
And movement in progress in the redeploy of the 4B solar array wing on the newest truss segment, the P6 truss now newly installed at the end of the existing truss segment. The 2B array wing fully deployed, and now the start of the 4B array wing.
Houston Alpha on the big loop. We detected some what appears to be a wraparound or some damage, and we're zoomed in on it on camera 24 right now.
Okay, Pambo, we see it. Thanks for the view.
And of course we aborted, and sorry, it took us a little while to be sure that we weren't being fooled by the lighting.
Discovery, air to ground 2 for Pam, and some big picture words on the day. What we've elected to do is bypass the EVA opportunity for tomorrow and instead get you a plan later on today that you can review through the evening and into tomorrow for an EVA on flight day 12. And what that'll leave you with long-term, provided the EVA goes well on flight day 12, is a nominal undocking on flight day 14.
Okay, Fergie, we copy all, and we absolutely concur that the right thing to do is to make sure that the plan has a little shelf life and maturity, and that you've thought about it and you feel confident in it. We do appreciate you sending stuff up to us as soon as you think it's got some at least moderate level of maturity, so that we can just stay in sync with you all the way through the day. And yeah, I think it's a disappointment a little bit to not go out, but we know we're getting ready to do it, and we'll just have a little more time to prepare. So I don't think that's a problem at all, and we sure appreciate the update.
This was early this morning. I was just getting out of bed and getting ready to start our day. We had Scott getting ready for the day there, starting to shave. It's a bit of a scramble in the morning. We've got obviously 7 folks that are trying to get through a limited number of facilities and get to their towels and get to their water and everything. But we manage. Having 3 dimensions to do it helps because we just kind of crawl over and around and float by each other and manage to get it done. Also, our post-sleep is a few minutes to type some messages to home, and there's Doug typing on our KFX machine, waving to home. That's the machine all the cards go in when we send cards to you guys.
This is a shot, Tony, that I took of Zambo. This is dear governor on the mid deck. Not a lot of room there, but I was up on the ceiling looking down on Zambo, and he was getting a pretty good workout. That's a shot of Stephanie by the galley getting her workout in, watching Zambo.
This is a view of Station Commander Peggy Whitson and Space Shuttle Discovery pilot George Zamko working the procedure to build the hardware to be used during the 4th spacewalk of this mission to effect a repair on the solar array panels on the P6 truss that were noticed to be damaged during their deployment on Tuesday. The spacewalk to be conducted by astronauts Scott Parazynski and Doug Wheelock on Saturday now involves attempting to draw together the panels that seem to be torn at a hinge by using the hardware that's being built here. The hardware being referred to as cufflinks or a hinge stabilizer. Cufflinks because it will resemble a cufflink in that these aluminum bars will be at 2 ends of wires to be fed through either side of the hinge on the panels to hopefully draw them together.
The thing I wanted to say about this was it was a wonderful turnkey procedure, and I've got to say we can't imagine all the work that all the folks on the ground are putting in, but this was an example of some amazing work. 14 pages. Very clean, very easy to follow. Peggy and I spent the first, let's say about 20 minutes gathering the tools from the space station lockers that we needed, and then we sat down and started making these. They're made of about foot-long aluminum strips that we cut into little buttons that were about 4 inches long and punched some holes into them. Ran some wire through them and taped it all up to make it non-conductive and safe for the EVA team to handle. And we also got to play with some tools right there. We started configuring an aluminum hole punch to put holes in it. But just some, we basically were the benefactors of some wonderful work on the ground, and I just wanted to. It's not going to be enough, but I want to pass thanks for folks that are working so hard to make sure that we have success up here.
This is us in the airlock. Actually, you can see Pambo and Scott and Paula and me were gathered around, actually getting ready for an EVA conference with. We talked to Robo a little bit tonight, and also to our EVA team. You can see, looking into the crew lock there, there's the 2 EMUs hanging on the wall, and then behind me in that view is the entry to the airlock itself. Actually, the equipment lock is what you're looking into, then the crew lock right behind where my feet are there.
And Alpha and Discovery Houston on Air to Ground 2, just to fill you in with what we got going on down here. Mrs. Barbara Bush is here, and she brought her husband, and so they're hooked up on the headsets and ready to talk to you.
Most impressive display as you all came in there and started tumbling around, somersaulting your way to this fine show-off here. But Pam, we want to wish you well and all your team. And we are so very proud of what y'all are doing. Mike here, the director of it all, has started giving us a good briefing on this. So Barbara and I are just thrilled to be here.
Thank
you, Mr. President and Mrs. Bush. We are absolutely thrilled and honored to be speaking to you, as is everybody in Mission Control, I'm sure. And we just want to thank you for your support of the space program. This is the visible evidence of it, and yes, it is a lot of fun to be in microgravity.
Well, God bless you all.
And God bless you as well.
Good luck. Back to work now. Back to work, all you guys. Don't be just sitting around having fun. We're so proud of y'all. Very, very proud. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
That is our flight deck. Looks a little bit like my grandpa's basement, kind of like a hobby shop. We've got our photo TV equipment and our PGSCs everywhere. We've got tapes lined up ready to go, and I think this is Paulo's tour that he did this morning. You can see Wheels, he's bringing out his ergometer shoe bag. He's getting ready to get a workout in later today. We did something associated with the IWIS test. Paulo has taught me some Italian hospitality manners, so I was demonstrating what it's like to be in our home. And the stowage is starting to accumulate in the airlock. We've got bags that, well, that's not their final configuration, but we put them there temporarily, and it makes for a little bit of a tight squeeze as we go on out the ODS and then into the PMA, and then finally into the lab. Paul's pretty good at this floating stuff. I more times than not tend to get a bit of a rotational rate on, and the lab's big enough where once you get it going, it tends to keep going until I catch a handrail. This is Boichi and Stephanie getting ready to do some robotics. Boichi is not his real name, obviously. That's Dan Tanny. Boichi is his bow crew name. This Bambo bringing by a CWC, looks like potable water. And we're into Node 1. To the left is the airlock, and to the right is the temporary site of Node 2. And that is the red that Scott is looking at right there. Looks like he's doing a flip on his... Oh, there he is. And Node 2 is quickly being put into use for some temp stowage. And there's also some outfitting being done. And, of course, we built the hinge support units, the cufflinks, we put those together in there yesterday because the light was so good. Over into the airlock, looking at the EMUs that we're going to be using tomorrow. The EMUs, of course, are kept in the equipment lock, and then Paulo goes into the crew lock. That's the part that gets separated and taken down to vacuum, and that's in the floor there is the hatch which the EVA members egress.
Luke, I'm your father. Use the Force, Luke. That's music for my son Luke, and be thinking about him today and the rest of my family as I go out and do this wonderful spacewalk with my good buddy Wheels here, and this is going to be a big day for NASA.
Go get him, Spike. All right, Spike. Get her done. Looks like you'll get to do the needle nose trick after all. Sweet. And Paulo, for Wheels, just as a look ahead, my translation down the nadir rail, I think.
1 hour and 25 minutes into today's spacewalk, astronaut Scott Parzynski now on a foot restraint on the end of the orbiter boom sensor system, being maneuvered away from the station's truss in the first movement of Canadarm2 in the boom on the way towards the work site on the P6 truss solar array panels.
Hey, Paulo, First 85-foot safety tether is going to be stowed on 5232, and my new anchor point is 5311.
Copy, wheels anchored 5311 and stow 5232.
That's good copy, Paulo, and I'll give you the check here in just momentarily. The damages, as anticipated, there is a hairball with the guide wire, the hinge between 35 and 36, and a grommet. Not sure of the origin of it, but probably at the 35-36 location. There is a separation of the doubler, the physical hinge, off of inboard lower side of panel 36. Looks to be about 8 to 10 inches in length. Just ripped clean from the edge of the panel. You can see that the cells are still intact on the backside. It just came off from the edge.
Astronaut Scott Parazynski starting to install the hardware that was built on board the station to provide structural support for the solar array panels.
A little dynamic on the blanket.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Scott, I should have read you that warning that any activity you do could cause motion, and you need to be ready with the hockey stick or ready to lean back away from it.
And I'm ready.
And that was a beautiful thing, though, to see that cufflink go into the hole.
Yes, it was. I'm going to apply a little force to get it fully engaged there. That's how you do it.
Yeah, we see your tug test. Looks good.
Good job.
This view from the helmet camera on astronaut Doug Wheelock's spacesuit, looking at astronaut Scott Parazynski at the worksite on the solar array panel.
Good clearances, Robo.
Copy, good clearances. And Scott will ramp out the end if it's good.
That's fine.
Copy.
So I think we're probably clear off to get to a viewing position.
And Houston Discovery, do you concur? We think we're ready to pull back Scott to the viewing position and begin the solar array deploy.
We are happy with the current config, and we're ready for you to back off and get ready for the deploy.
Okay, preparing for the deploy, half bay.
I think we're good, Tim.
Okay, on my mark, 2, 1, mark. Got motion.
Okay. To verify the mass is coming out of the canister. Sight looks good. It's under no tension at this time. Looks good.
And we've hit the plan to board at half a bay.
Okay. Cufflinks remain inboard of the edges. Looks smooth here.
All right, deploy in 2, 1, mark. We've got deployed discretes. 2 deployed discretes.
Yay! All right. Beautiful. Great news. Beautiful. What an accomplishment.
Nice teamwork.
Phenomenal.
Excellent work, guys. Excellent.
One of the interesting things about what we did today was that it truly required everyone. We had everyone on the shuttle crew and at various times most of the station crew doing things. We were more or less at the limit of the station arms reach capability. I kind of thought we were when we did the P6 install on EVA-3, but we learned differently today. Kind of had the arm all unfolded, poking that boom out there as close as it could get to the solar array so that Scott could reach. Just makes it a lot trickier when you have two ends of the boom to keep clear rather than just one. A lot of people had to put on their thinking caps with that robotics activity because of the stretched out arm, and the ground, I thought, did a wonderful job of coming up with some good suggestions for us for how to maneuver the arm, and Dan and Stephanie just really showed how well the basic qualifications are that you can do something unusual like that on short notice.
I guess this is the time when Discovery officially welcomes Clay with open arms to our crew. We can't wait to bring you home to your family, and we're very happy to have you. I think it's not even a question of fitting in because our crews have matched so well. There's been a lot of laughter and a lot of fun and a lot of really hard work over the last few dock days. And it's also our time to say farewell to Dan. Dan has brought us so many wonderful memories and so many wonderful moments, from going to Knowles together, all the training that we've done together, and a truly incredible day together yesterday. Just kind of brought so much time, so much effort all together for all of us. So we're going to miss you terribly. We promise that we will send somebody to come pick you up and bring you home. And to Peggy, thank you. It's just been an honor and a privilege to share the command of this mission with you throughout the dock time frame. And our personal relationship has just made it all that much better. And Yuri, thank you so much for all the help that you gave to us as well. We simply could not have accomplished the mission without everybody's help. And so the two crews have worked together so well that this is one that we will always remember. We're family now.
There will be no cities from Iowa during the increment 16.
Houston and Alpha, Discovery has physical separation.
Houston copies.
Alpha copies. Settle departing. Discovery copies. Thanks, Peggy. Thank you guys for the module and all your help.
Discovery Alpha on the big loop. Zambo, great job, buddy. Great job flying. Really cool to see you out there. Dan Boichi, thanks very much. We're going to miss you, but we know you're going to have a great time up there with Peggy and Yuri, and have a great expedition, and we'll see you on the ground. I'll do that, man, and the whole boat crew, I miss you already, and fly safe, get home safe. I'll see you on the ground, and thanks for not only the great ride up, but the great year and a half together, and I owe you one. Just one.
Scott said that was beautiful.
Good morning, Discovery. And good morning, Pam, and thank you so much for that great wake-up music, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It was absolutely the perfect music, the perfect wake-up music for a perfect entry day.
Well, the shuttle may not have fine four fenders, but it's got two beautiful wings, and we're looking forward to a smooth touchdown later today.
Discovery Houston, you're on energy approaching the hack. Update for winds. They're peaking at 23 knots on the head and 4 knots from the right. You'll be nominal shoot deploy.
Copy all, nominal shoot deploy.
Discovery Houston, on at the 180.
Copy, on at the 180.
Discovery Houston, on at the 90.
Copy, on at the 90.
Two minutes to touchdown. This view from the heads-up display. As Commander Pam Mulroy continuing now to fly around the heading alignment cylinder.
Houston Discovery, runway in sight.
Copy, field in sight.
Discovery flying at 390 miles per hour at an altitude at 11,000 feet. 1.5 minutes to touchdown. Discovery's descent rate is 20 times higher and 7 times steeper than a commercial airliner on the final approach. Discovery's landing gear is down and locked in place. Main gear touchdown. Commander Pam Mulroy is rotating the nose gear down to the runway and nose gear touchdown. Discovery is rolling out on runway 33 at the Kennedy Space Center, wrapping up a 6.25 million mile mission. Discovery completing its 34th mission to space and the 23rd shuttle flight to the International Space Station.
Houston Discovery, wheel stop.
Copy, wheel stop, Discovery. Congratulations on a tremendous mission and a great landing, Pam. And we'll meet you on page 5-3 with no deltas.
Copy all.
It's great to be out here on this gorgeous day. It's a little breezy. It's great to be back in Florida, especially the home of Discovery. We could not have done this mission without Discovery being as clean and beautiful as it was. Discovery worked perfectly, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody at the Kennedy Space Center for everything that you do, because it takes the entire team to pull it together to launch a shuttle as clean as this. And that goes for the whole agency. I think the whole agency had to pull together for this particular mission. We saw a lot of very unusual things happen. We did a pretty amazing EVA, and that was very exciting. It was a thrilling day for both the Space Shuttle and the Space Station programs, vindicating both programs and their purpose and their flexibility in space. I just want to say thank you. We are thrilled to be back home. Sorry that Clay and Paolo couldn't be out here. They're doing great. They're just doing some extra medical tests, so they couldn't join us right now. But I know they feel the same way, particularly Clay. Can't wait to see his wife soon. It's their 15th wedding anniversary. So if you see Clay, be sure to say happy anniversary. And thank you to everybody for a beautiful vehicle and a beautiful mission.